Well, hello and happy Monday. Happy Monday. Today's date is July the 12th, 2021. And this is going to be a short video, approximately about 6 minutes long, because I'm having an issue with uploading them to YouTube if they're more than 10 minutes long. So this is a 6-minute video, but what I want to say to you today is happy Monday. And we want to dive a little bit more on the forensic side. So we're going to dive into the forensics of the narcissistic parent, the forensics of it, and how it can be traced all the way back to pregnancy. Your mother or being pregnant with you, if your mother is the narcissist in your life, or it can be traced all the way back to your newborn state, the damage, the abuse, the neglect, the maltreatment, the mismanagement of the parental power over your life can be traced back as far as you being a newborn child. Now, the reason why I say that the forensics of your trauma can go that far back. The reason why I say that, once again, is because I was on the city bus one time, and a young lady was on the bus with her baby. And I noticed that, and they were sitting in the back of the bus. And I noticed that the baby, which happened to be, he couldn't have been no more than about a year old, maybe 2. I noticed that he would let out a screeching cry. And at first I ignored it as just, children being children. But he let this screeching cry out, and it pierced my heart. It was a piercing thing. It felt like a cry as though he was being tortured. Is that type of cry. It wasn't I'm hungry cry. It wasn't I'm not getting my way cry. It was a cry of literal help. And so at some point I turned and looked to the back of the bus to see what was going on. And his mother was holding him on her lap. And so I was thinking to myself, and I took a look at him, and he was just helplessly anguished with pain. So much that when I turned to look, she began to try to pamper him and calm him down from the crying. And at some point, he began to calm down a little bit. And then the next thing I know, the screeching cry began again. And I'm thinking to myself, something is not right with this child and his mother. And because of who I am and the call that God has on my life, I tapped in, and I knew that something very sinister was going on with this child and his mother in the back of that bus. And I discerned that she was either pinching him or scratching him or something, because the screech that he let out, it came out as though he was being tortured. And by the time you look back there, the mother has her posture correctly, looking like she's not, like there's no issue with her. The only issue is with him. But I knew that she had something to do with this child's cry. I knew she had something to do with it. And so at some point, I gave her a blank stare right at her, a piercing stare right at her, which I'm hoping that it transferred from my eyes to her eyes. Bitch, I know you are doing something to this child, and you better stop, because your secret is no longer a secret at this point. I believe you are doing something to this child. So please excuse my expletive, but I mean every word that I'm saying on each and every one of my videos. And I mean I intentionally want each and every individual who reviews my videos to feel me, to fill me, okay? So I said all of that to tell you that many of you have been underneath the harsh and cruel treatment of a narcissistic guardian as far back as you being a small child. Because what I know about most narcissists, they are mentally disturbed psychopaths. And when they're not happy, they don't want nobody else to be happy. And most of the time, they have a very difficult time expressing their personal emotions. So they cheat by vicariously experiencing what pain feels like coming out of you. Oh my gosh. To vicariously do something is to not do it yourself, but to watch somebody else do it and get the experience of it that way. And most psychopaths are like that. They like to inflict pain and watch and study how the pain is affecting you. And so I feel for children who are brought up by narcissistic guardians, parents, because the forensics of their trauma can be traced all the way back to the beginning of their lives.